also know that you still like fairy tales. So, my princess, I'll read you tonight a fairy tale. I've got a book here, you see. Fairy tales from the Brothers Grimm. You know that from a childhood you did. You like those fairy tales? Great. If you do, then I'll start reading them for you. There are lots of fairy tales here. So we have allotted them to read every single night, so that you can go sleep while listening to fairy tales. And let's begin with the first one. Hans in luck. Hans has served his master 7 years, and at last said to him, "Master, my time is up. I should like to go home and see my mother, so give me my wages." And the master said, "You have been a faithful and good servant, so your pay shall be handsome." Then he gave him a piece of silk that was as big as his head. Hans took out his pocket handkerchief, put the piece of salt into it, threw it over his shoulder, and jogged off homewards. As he went lazily on, dragging one foot after another, a man came in sight, trotting along gaily on a capital horse. "Ah," said Hans aloud, "what a fine thing it is to ride on horseback. There he sits as if he was at home in his chair. He trips against no stones, spares his shoes, and yet gets on. He hardly knows how." The horseman heard this and said, "Well, Hans, why do you go on foot then?" "Oh," said he, "I have this load to carry. To be sure it is seldom, but it is so heavy that I can't hold up my head, and it hurts my shoulder sadly. What do you say to change? I will give you my horse, and you shall give me the salt." "With all my heart," said Hans, "but I tell you one thing. You'll have a weary task to drag it along, Hans was delighted as he sat on the horse and rode merrily on. After a time he thought he should like to go a little faster, so he smacked his lips and cried, "Yip!" Away went the horse full gallop, and before Hans knew what he was about, he was thrown off and lay in a ditch by the roadside, and his horse would have run off if a shepherd who was coming by, driving a car, had not stopped it. Hans soon came to himself and got upon his legs again. He was sadly vexed, and said to the shepherd, "This riding is no joke when a man gets an abyss like this, that stumbles and flings him off as if he would break his neck. However, I'm off now once for all. I like your car a great deal better. One can walk along at one's leisure behind her, and have milk, butter and cheese every day into the bargain. What would I give to have such a cow?" "Well," said the shepherd, "if you are so fond of her, I will change my cow for your horse." "Done," said Hans merrily. The shepherd jumped upon the horse, and away he rode. Hans drove off his cow quietly, and thought his bargain a very lucky one. "If I have only a piece of bread, and I certainly shall be able to get it, I can, whenever I like, eat my butter and cheese with it, and when I am thirsty I can milk my cow and drink the milk. What can I wish for more?" When he came to an inn, he halted, ate up all his bread, and gave away his last penny for a glass of beer. Then he drove his cow towards his mother's village, and the heat grew greater as noon came on, till at last he found himself in a wide ebb that would take him more than an hour to cross, and he began to be so hot and parched that his tongue clave to the roof of his mouth. "I can find a cure for this," thought he. "Now will I milk my cow and quench my thirst." So he tied her to the stump of the tree, and held his love and kept the milk in it, but not a drop was to be had. While he was trying his luck and managing the matter very clumsily, the uneasy beast gave him a kick on the head that knocked him down, and there he lay a long while senseless. Luckily a butcher soon came by driving a pig in a wheelbarrow. "What is the matter with you?" said the butcher as he helped him up. Hans told him what had "Well," said the butcher, "to please you, I'll change and give you the pig for the cow." "Heaven reward you for your kindness," said Hans, as he gave the butcher the cow and took the pig off the wheelbarrow and drove it off, holding it by the string that was tied to its leg. So on he jogged, and all seemed not to go right with him. He had met with some misfortunes, to be sure, but he was now well repaired for all. The next person he met was a countryman carrying a fine white goose under his arm. The countryman stopped to ask what was o'clock, and Hans told him all his luck, and how he had made so many good bargains. The countryman said he was going to take the goose to christening. "Phil," said he, "how heavy it is, and it is only 8 weeks old. Whoever roasts and eats it may cut plenty of fat out of it. It has lived so well." "You are right," said Hans as he weighed it in his hand. "But my pig is not rough." Meantime the countryman began to look grave and shook his head. "Okay," said he, "my good friend, your pig may get you into a scrape, and the villager just come from the squire has had a pig stolen out of his stall. I was dreadfully afraid when I saw you that you had squire's pig. It will be a bad job if they catch you. The least they'll do will be to throw you into the horse pond." Poor Hans was sadly frightened. "Good man," cried he, "pray get me out of this scrape. You know this country better than I. Take my pig and give me the goose." "I ought to have something into the bargain," said the countryman. "However, I will not be hard upon you, as you are in trouble." And he took the string in his head and drove out the pig by a side path, while Hans went on the way homewards, free from care. "After all," thought he, "I have passed a bargain. First there will be a capital roast, then the fat will find me in goose grease for 6 months, and then there are all the beautiful white views. I'll put them into my pillow, and then I'm sure I shall sleep soundly, without rocking. How happy my mother will be." As he came to the last village, he saw a scissor grind, with his wheel working away and sinking. "Oh, hail, and oh, I tell so happy I rule. Work light and live well. All the world is my home. Who so blithe, so merry as I." Hans stood looking for a while, and at last said, "You must be a while off, Master Grind. You seem so happy at your work." "Yes," said the other, "mine is a golden trade. A good grinder never puts his hand in his pocket without finding money in it. But where did you get that beautiful goose?" "I did not buy it, but changed a pig for it." "And where did you get the pig?" "I gave a cow for it, and the cow piece of silver as big as my head with it. And the silver, oh, I worked hard with that 7 long years. Everything well in the world hitherto, said the Grant. Now if you could find money in your pocket whenever you put your hand into it, your fortune would be made. Very true, but how is that to be managed? You must then grind like me, said the other. You only want a grindstone. The rest will come of itself. Here is one that is a little worse for wear. I would not ask more than the value of a goose for it. Will you buy it? How can you ask such a question? Replied Hans. I should be the happiest man in the world if I could have money whenever I put it in my pocket. What could I want more? There is the goose. Now, said the Grandad, as he gave him a common rough stone that lay by his side. This is a most capital stone. Do but manage it cleverly, and you can make an old nail cut with it. Hans took the stone and went off with a light heart. His eyes sparkled for joy, and he said to himself, I must have been born in a lucky hour. Everything that I want or wish for comes to me of itself. Meanwhile, he began to be tired, for he had been travelling ever since daybreak. He was hungry too, though he had given away his last penny, and his joy at getting the cup. At last he could no farther, and the stone tired him terribly. He dragged himself to the side of the pond, and he might drink some water and rest a while. So he laid the stone carefully by his side on the bank. But as he stooped down to drink, he forgot it, pushed it a little, and down it went plump into the pond. For a while he watched it sinking in the deep clay water, then sprang up for joy and again fell upon his knees, and thanked heaven with tears in his eyes for its kindness, in taking away his only pluck, the ugly heavy stone. How happy am I, cried he. No mortal was ever so lucky as I am. Then up he got with a light and merry heart, and walked on free from all his troubles, till he reached his mother's house. I hope you like this one. Next time we will read The Traveling Musicians. But now I wish sweet dreams. Fairy tale like dreams. I wish you could